Negative and zero exponents, lesson 4.4 notes. Example number 1 continued. Now I'm going to do D, E, and F, starting with D. I have 7 to the 5th over 7 to the 7th. Well, 7 to the 5th has the smaller exponent, so I'm going to completely cross that out. And 7 minus 5 is 2. Now there's nothing on top, so I need to put a 1. I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over 7 squared. All right, that's one way of doing the problem. The other way of doing the problem is to actually subtract. Now, if you're going to do it like I did up here, top exponent minus bottom exponent, it would look like this. I would have 7 to the 5 minus 7. 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So this would be 7 to the negative 2. Well, we want to make that exponent positive, so we would flip it. Put a 1 underneath. I'm going to move it to the denominator. So now this is 1 over 7 squared. And notice we got the same thing. 7 squared is 49. So this would be 1 over 49. Now, if you're asking me, I think it's easier to do this problem this way. All right, again, doesn't matter how you want to do it. That is up to you. For E, notice how both exponents are negative. So I want to take this term and move it to the denominator. But then I want to take this term and move it to the numerator. So again, since that's negative, I want to move it to the denominator to make it positive. And because this one has a negative exponent, I want to move it to the numerator to make it positive. So in other words, I'm flipping and taking and doing the reciprocal of the entire thing. So this would be 10 to the third in the numerator and 10 to the eighth in the denominator. Ten to the third has the smaller exponent. I completely cross that out. Since I'm crossing out the top, I'm going to put a 1. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So this would then be 1 over 10 to the 5th. Now if I did this the other way, this would be 10 to the negative 8 minus negative 3. If you remember back when we did integers, minus a negative becomes positive, so that'd be negative 8 plus 3. Negative 8 plus 3 would be negative 5. So this would be 10 to the negative 5. Well, I don't want a negative exponent, so I need to move it to the denominator. So this would look like 1 over 10 to the 5th. And once again, notice how I got the same thing. So my final answer would actually be, I hope I have enough room to write this here. Remember, when you take 10 to an exponent, that's how many zeros, the exponent is how many zeros there should be. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So it'd be 1 over 100,000. go ahead and box this whole thing. Now right there, if you're not strong with negative exponents, I think the best way to do it is to make the exponents positive first. In other words, I think it's better to do this method over here if you're not strong with negative exponents. But again, you choose how you would prefer to do it, and either way is fine with me. All right, F is kind of a tricky one. And the reason why it's a tricky one because, well, first of all, this exponent would be a 1 here. Okay, but if you look at this, this base is a 4 and this base is a 3. Well, when the bases are different, we can't even do anything with it. So I don't even need to put the 1 on that 4. The only thing I can do for this problem is make this positive. I want to make that positive. So I'm going to move it to the numerator. So if I move it to the numerator, this now looks like 4 times 3 to the third. Three to the third is 27, so this would be 4 times 27. And 4 times 27 is 108. So that was one that the only thing we could do is make the exponent positive before proceeding. And that is it for example number 1. If you have any questions on example number 1, please let me know. I know these are not easy problems. If you're confused or have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.